Welcome to the What is Stoicism podcast.
Maybe you haven't yet begun to implement a philosophy of life in a practical way. Maybe you did begin a while ago, but your practice has slacked, or life has gotten in the way and quietly drained your enthusiasm. Maybe self-reflection has brought up memories and emotions that are difficult to face, and that discomfort has discouraged you from returning to it. Our early efforts can be a struggle. That's true of most new things we try to learn. But if we persist, the difficulty begins to ease. The Stoics believed that virtue is the only true good. From that premise, we can conclude something encouraging. The pursuit of virtue is always worthwhile, even if it feels challenging or uncomfortable in the beginning. As Seneca wrote in his moral letters to Lucilius, quote, "Learning virtue means unlearning vice. We should therefore proceed to the task of freeing ourselves from faults with all the more courage, because once virtue has been committed to us, the good is an everlasting possession. Virtue is not unlearned." End quote. The first steps toward the virtues, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, can feel like hard work. But once these virtues begin to take root, they don't easily leave us. That alone is a powerful incentive to continue. We need not fear what is unfamiliar. We need not abandon our practice or become disillusioned if it causes a little discomfort at first. Our task is simply to become familiar with what once felt unfamiliar. It's the affordable toll we pay on the road toward a good life. In the ancient world, philosophy was often described as medicine for the soul, a metaphor Seneca elaborates on beautifully. The mind, he says, must be forced to begin the treatment, but once the healing starts, the medicine loses its bitterness. Quote, "For just as soon as it is curing us, it begins to give us pleasure. One enjoys other cures only after health is restored, but a draught of philosophy is at the same moment wholesome and pleasant." End quote. When we study the virtues and practice them in daily life, we're administering this medicine to ourselves. When we focus on what lies within our control, examine our impressions, question our judgments, and review our actions each evening with the intention of improvement, we're tending to our inner health. It may feel slow at first, but healing often does. A short poem by the Welsh poet R.S. Thomas captures something essential about this slow and steady progress. Quote, "I think that maybe I will be a little surer of being a little nearer. That's all. Eternity is in the understanding that that little is more than enough." End quote. These lines express the quiet ambition of philosophical practice. The aim isn't perfection. The aim is simply to move a little closer to wisdom each day. A modern saying captures this well: perfection is the enemy of progress. That idea sits comfortably alongside the Stoic understanding of human nature. We don't delude ourselves into thinking we'll become perfect. We know we're human. Errors will continue to appear. We'll sometimes desire things outside our control. Our judgments will occasionally be unsound. Our reactions will sometimes fall short of our ideals, and there will always be more wisdom left to learn. The Stoic sage, the figure of perfect rationality and virtue, is ultimately a theoretical model. It serves as a reference point rather than a realistic destination. It helps us evaluate our conduct and orient ourselves in the right direction. But if we punish ourselves constantly for not being perfect, progress stalls. The ideal becomes discouraging rather than inspiring. According to Diogenes Laertius, who recorded the sayings of early philosophers in his work Lives of the Eminent Philosophers, the Stoic founder Zeno of Citium put it this way: "Well-being is attained little by little, yet it is no little thing itself." That observation should give us encouragement. Small steps accumulate, small acts of virtue compound over time. If we continue tending to our inner world, correcting our judgments, strengthening our character, reflecting honestly on our behaviour, our well-being has every chance to grow. The Roman emperor and Stoic practitioner Marcus Aurelius reminded himself of this same lesson in his meditations. At one point he cautions himself not to demand impossible perfection. Don't go expecting Plato's Republic, he says. Be satisfied with even the smallest progress. It's a practical reminder that improvement isn't dramatic or instantaneous. It unfolds gradually. So if the beginning of philosophical practice feels difficult, that's normal. If the effort sometimes feels slow, that's also normal. The work of philosophy isn't to leap instantly into perfection, but to heal slowly and deliberately. With patience, dedication, and consistency, we can become a little surer of being a little nearer. And as R.S. Thomas suggests, that little is more than enough.